How's it going, everyone? Welcome to week one of the Super Formula Light, a new car in iRacing. It is the second season of 2024. New car just dropped. The clouds are pretty new. Keeping an eye on the weather. It doesn't look like it's going to rain, but could rain here. So this will be interesting seeing how this ends up going. Just in general, this is my first race in this car. I've done a few practice laps, but I did qualify 12th on the grid, and I've not done a start. So we will see how this goes. Getting ready.
Green flag, green flag.
Letting the clutch out. Okay, not a bad start. I will take that. Gonna want to drift to the inside here and really not try and lose too much. It seems to me there's a lot of carnage in these races, so I'm really hoping folks play respectful, heading down into turn 5, getting through turn 1 pretty cleanly there. Oh, incident behind. Car up in 4th there, bouncing around quite a bit, just defending. I don't want to try and make a pass here. There's obviously going to be a ton of draft coming down here into turn 5. Thomas Schmidt here pulling a lot of speed with the draft there. I'm just going to go ahead and not fight them. I'm going to continue to defend the inside. Okay, you can't go there. Like, I don't know what they're trying to do, but I'm just going to break it as late as I can, seeing that there's some room up there. I'm going to go ahead and try and get ahead of Boss here. Follow Michael Odell through turn 7 here, locking a little. Going to hold the inside. See if there's some room. Okay, we got someone off to the left. Not a big deal. Let's just try and keep the throttle down and get through these next sets of corners. We'll see how this goes. Big gap behind us, but we've made it through cleanly. 2 cars off on the left there. It's going to take a minute to get back, so let's just stay on the throttle, get through here. Tires are cold. We're going to get to the point where we can take carousel here flat out, but right now, certainly cannot. Well, there's a lot of incidents. We're up to 9th. We started 12th, and I got passed by 2 people. So if I had held those 2 positions, we would be in 7th, but good on those folks getting past us. They were pretty aggressive, so let's see how that plays out for them as the race goes on. It is a 30-minute race. I did make that one risky move there into turn 6, not turn 7, on Boss. So I'll look back on that. Might have been something I should have held off on a little bit. It obviously worked out fine, but could have gone a lot worse. Michael Griffin there off in the grass. That's going to really cost them over the course of the race. But up to 8th. It's been 1 lap. There are 27 minutes and 52 seconds left in this race, and we're already up into 8th place. So it's looking good just to stay on track and see how this all goes. A few different lines through there. Ludovic right ahead of us, taking a much wider line. I think just giving room to Michael Odell there. I could have carried a lot more speed through there. I don't believe I'm close enough to start to get the draft, but still getting a sense for this stupid car and how to drive it. It has been a lot of fun so far, but I still have a lot to learn. I'm off pace compared to some of the faster drivers, and I will need to figure out what to do there. Okay, so Michael Odell making another really aggressive move on Ludovic there. So we'll just keep that in mind as we start racing with them, if we have the opportunity to get up there and race with them again, or if they happen to make a mistake, are behind us, and then have the pace to get up ahead of us again. I'm probably just going to let Michael go by. Michael seems to be around on pace, a little bit faster than I am, but with how aggressive they're being, I do not want to end my race because they are being aggressive. That's an advantage to being aggressive. Sometimes people will let you go by. The disadvantage is you don't know that people are going to let you go by, and you definitely build up some confidence of how many times you're able to make the move. But when someone defends strong into a corner, you can really set yourself up to lose the race a little bit later there than I would have liked to be. I'm usually around the 2 1/4 mark. Braked at about the 2 board, so that was a little slow, but let's just try and bring enough speed here on the front straight to try and make some time up between these two as they are battling. The lead pack really pulling away up to 5th and 4th. They are really putting some time on me. Christian, the 26 car, is the only car really behind who's looking to put some time on us, so that's good. We'll see how that holds up. But for now, let's see how Michael and Ludovic are going to be battling. Benesh right here. Kind of looks like Benesh wants to race with Michael. Took a slightly different line there. Hopefully they're not going to interfere with our race too much. I'm going to try and get as much draft off of them as I can. Thank you very much. Oh, I shut off my voice chat, so that explains why nothing kind of popped up there. Try and carry, again, as much speed as possible. But these two battling it out is causing me to gain on them. It is certainly not my pace. I think I've been fairly consistent, but that is the only reason I am gaining on them right now, is they are battling it out. If they were to work together, or at least one of them just sit behind the other, they could pull away a bit. But now they've got, you know, almost 3 seconds to Thomas up in front of Ludovic, and now I am on the tail of Michael. So there's a bit of a battle here for 6th place that didn't necessarily need to happen if they had kept it together. Everyone's tires really coming in right now, so that's going to make things interesting as well. Okay, getting on the brakes a little early, especially with how many cars we got coming through here. Man, I want a little bit more power in this thing, but it is a fun car to drive. And the reason I want a little bit more power is I'm just picking the wrong gear at times. And I'd like to be a gear up and not have to worry about it. But gonna be a lot of draft coming in here. I'm gonna let Michael and Ludovic battle it out. I should have a draft to get up close to everyone, but I just don't wanna mess with it. Okay, they're not gonna go side by side. They're both just chilling back. Thought there would be a dive there by Michael just based off of how the previous laps have gone, but settling in, calming down. Maybe that's Michael's style. Go aggressive those first few laps and then settle in and try and get the racing going on. So I'm hopeful Michael can get a pass on Ludovic, and I can kind of see how Michael is attacking the course currently rather than me wanting to make a pass on Michael given the location. So Michael really taking a different line through there, getting up alongside Ludovic. That is awesome driving. Aggressive, but really respectful. Not aggressive in like a, ooh, let's avoid it standpoint. That was really neat racing. But now I'm going to try and box Michael in, but they're going to be on the inside, so I'm going to brake a little early here, try and hold on the outside. Let's see if we can hold the inside here through the carousel. Tire's going to be a little slidey. Michael letting off a lot there. That is unfortunate for Michael, but great for me. Michael should have a huge draft here, so I'm just going to let them by. Go ahead. Go ahead. You go get him. I'm going to lift a little. I don't want to lose Ludovic by battling Michael here, and I think that's what's going to happen if I keep it up. So unless Michael can't catch Ludovic, which I believe that they can, going to just keep pushing it here. Raul behind us came out of nowhere from at least me paying attention to where they had come from. We were all down a bit on that lap, but it certainly wasn't enough. Christian Jeffrey right behind them. Christian Gregory right behind them. So there's quite a train here if we don't get our shit together. Gonna have to just try and put up some clean laps and not worry too much about individual position. At least that's gonna be my focus. Raul likely has some draft on me right now, so hopefully I can try and break that throughout the rest of the course, but keeping a consistent pace. We haven't talked about the beer drinking yet today. Guinness is not on draft, but in my cup because it is St. Patrick's Day. It is Sunday, so at some point, hopefully, I will have a chance to grab that, but it's been kind of an exciting race so far, so I will honestly take that. Raul really catching up. If they do have the pace, I will let them have a go at Michael. I am keeping pace to Michael. Michael, not too far off Ludovic ahead. There we go. Keep it on the track. No off track from that one, so that's good. Bring that through. So we got a good lap time coming in, but just not making up time on Michael like I think we'd want to. and obviously Raul behind us getting a ton of draft. Is Raul going to have a shot at a pass coming down into Canada corner? I think they are. Are they going to go for it? Let's see. Alongside, but not making the pass. Just going to let them have it. Let's go. Let's go. Where did Raul go? Please reappear. Please, Raul, come. Well, at this point, you've been gone so long. It's going to be terrifying if and when Raul does come back. Just completely disappeared. So we're still in 8th place, even though we got passed. I'm not seeing that Raul's been disconnected for upload or download packet loss, which is terrifying. Now we're going into a tight corner where we'd really bunch up. So I lost that position kind of for nothing. I'm going to consider Raul gone at this point, even though they still may return until we get that message from iRacing that they have been disconnected. I need to assume that they're still here, but I need to push and catch Michael now. We are a minute and 20 second and 2/10 behind, so not great. Come on. What? There we go. Raul has dropped due to upload packet loss. That is really unfortunate timing. They just got that pass. Unfortunate timing for all of us. Never a good time from Raul's standpoint to have dropped from the race, but so be it. I'm losing Michael, and that is not Raul's fault. That is mine. Michael's putting up some great laps. Staying pretty consistent to Ludovic there. So let's just try and keep in it because we don't want to then lose time to Christian behind us. Keeping relatively consistent, making time up on Christian. Lost time really on the straight here and in Canada corner. Same with Michael. So let's just try and put up again some clean laps and see how this goes. Let's go ahead and perhaps once we get on the straightaway, we'll just have to rejoin when something more interesting happens, and hopefully by interesting it is me catching Michael. So I will see you all as I've made up a little bit more time on Michael here. So cheers. Alright, well, this might not be terribly interesting, but I did just go off into the grass. Christian definitely catching me. I was putting a little bit of time on Ludovic because Michael was catching them, but Christian Gregory going to be right behind me, especially coming down into this big straight going into turn 5. So let's see how I can try and just keep some time from him. I was putting time on him, but now with the draft, Christian going to have a much easier time staying with me. I am pulling away 6/10. Is that enough for draft? I don't know that I got necessarily a good exit there, but Christian is gaining some time slowly, so a little bit of draft there, not a ton. Ooh, much better braking into that section for Christian. Made up a ton of time there. I made up a little bit of time there. We're tossing tenths back and forth as we get through these corners. Christian definitely close enough to put a move on going down into Canada again, depending on how much they can stay. Ooh, nope, they lost it a bit. Getting onto the carousel here, coming out of whatever turn that was, turn 10, 11. So I should be good to just chug through here. Let's see. Christian carrying more speed through the carousel there. So that's unfortunate. Not going to be able to make a move into Canada, but am I going to be able to put time on Christian as we get ahead here? That was a really bad corner. I'm not carrying a lot of speed. I'm really just hitting the brakes and pointing the car in a direction, which it wants to do, but it needs to be sliding a bit more. I've got zero slip angle. I'm getting on the gas really poorly. There's my tire tracks when I missed that corner, speaking of which. So putting some time back on Christian. Nothing terribly exciting there. Exciting for me, but not in a positive way. So let's see if I can get some time on Ludovic with the half of the race remaining. We have 14 minutes of the 30 total minutes left in the race. So see y'all in a bit. Alright, I've gone off track in turn 1 here. Don't want to crash into Christian. It's what an opportune time to get a message from the in-game spotter. So Aaron Woolcock right behind a C-Class driver. I haven't seen that in a while. Been in a lot of B-only series. But 7 tenths, 6.5 tenths behind. Christian 1.5 seconds ahead. Let's try and make this time up. And I haven't seen how Aaron has been gaining on us. It does seem like they have been putting time on us over the last few laps, kind of over the whole lap, but certainly down the straightaways. So I don't know if it's just my corner entry, exit, like where am I losing time? They are taking some interesting lines. Almost looked like they were trying to go for something there. Maybe they were just trying to grab some of that fresh air without me being right behind them. But I could expect them to kind of make a dive going into Canada, especially being only 2.8 tenths behind. Yeah, so they're going to take the inside here.
Keep to the right.
Okay, where are we going? Where are we going? Let's follow them out. I should be able to try and make a pass into turn 1. I think I might actually try it into turn 5, but I want to keep my distance to them going into turn 1. Okay, they are off the track, so that should be us clear. We should be able to get enough ahead that the draft doesn't really impact us. Not 3 tenths, so they're going to keep right with us. Interesting seeing that mistake as they took the lead. That makes me nervous, especially as they're going for, you know, looking for a position coming out of that. They ran wide there as well. So if Aaron's going to go for a move, I'm going to let them have it. I have not necessarily liked how they're looking for a gap that doesn't really exist. I don't know if they're actually going for it, but that's the sense I'm getting from in the car. I don't know what's actually going on in their head, just what I can see. But based off that, I'm out. Like, I am not going to race here, even if it's the last lap. I'm not ending my race. Due to that, an unpredictable car is just going to create a wreck. So I don't want to participate in that, but I will try and put time on as best I can. Obviously, through here, not doing that, Aaron definitely going to be able to get a run here, and we'll easily get the pass by Canada. I am putting time on Christian, except for that little off-track excursion. Okay, so here we go, making that pass again. Let's just do the same thing. Take it. We'll hit a normal braking point and call it good. Aaron braking a little bit later than I am there. Maybe I should hit the brakes a little later.
The leader is running.
But let's see how we take turn 1 in the corner going on to the main straight. So they are staying on the track this time. That's great. I'm now 3 tenths behind, gaining all that time. There's something to said for leapfrogging here. You can really gain a lot of time if you're going to leapfrog, like this defensive position. Obviously, if I were going for something, that's one thing. Get back over. Don't fuck us both up. There we go. Okay. So Aaron, just like last time, lost a lot of time through there. We're actually both a bit down. I don't know if Aaron's just driving defensive or this is what their lines have been. I'm going to go for a move, though, into 5. So Aaron's going to go defensive again, I would assume, but I'm going to stick my nose in, hit my normal braking point, and then just turn it on in using that curve to help bring me around and try and keep distance from Aaron and while making time up on Christian, because that is where I want to be. I want to be back in 8th place. So looks like Aaron a little bit further behind us, 6 tenths. Easily going to be able to make that up if they want to. Oh, I hit the brakes a little late in there. That's going to let Aaron by. Oh, Aaron also off track, and there's a car behind them, Gregory and Michael Griffin. So now we got 4 cars all bunched up from those 2 off tracks. Aaron clearly target fixated on me there. May have just made the mistake on their own, but to me that looks like target fixation. Again, very terrifying to be the car who is ahead and have someone behind you target fixating. It's just going to cause a wreck. Let's see what these two want to do. Obviously, Gurgly, I do not know how to pronounce their name. The 11 car just made up 2 positions. Aaron getting super defensive here, kind of all over the track. Not that I wasn't, just through there. But, okay, what are we doing here? Like, we're getting defensive, holding the inside line. I can appreciate that. There's going to be a lot of speed coming through here. I think the 2 of these cars are going to cause an incident. Aaron has gone wide before, so just trying to shut that off. I want to make the pass before we get into the next corner. Or at least force Aaron wide. Not that wide. But, okay. Went a little too wide there. I don't believe that had anything to do with me. I think that was all Aaron running a little wide. I'll rewatch that and make sure that I wasn't a participant in forcing Aaron wide at all. That would be shit. Like, y'all obviously already have a better view of that, can easily rewind and see what's going on. I hope that's not the case. But my intent was to make Aaron take the outside line so that we are both running side by side going down into turn 5 there. And ideally I can make the pass and get up here with the 11 car. But that didn't happen. Now my goal is to catch the 11 car. I would like to at least be 9th and not 10th. Obviously car 6 on the grid. Lots of really fast drivers here. I would happily blame my current pace on how much time I've spent in the car, but that is not fair. I've had the same amount of time as everyone else to put laps in the car, and I haven't. So let's see if we can catch up to the 11 car here. Though with Michael Griffin right in our tail, that might be difficult. We might be fighting for 10th and 11th place going into these last few laps. But I had, those 2 small mistakes that really took me out of contention of fighting with Ludovic and Michael. Like, right, I could still be in 8th, looking at 6th and 7th ahead, trying to put pace up, but I was inconsistent. I did make mistakes that got me where I am now. So, 2 minutes left. That should be 2 laps to go. Yeah, 2 laps to go is what it's looking like. So, again, trying to just keep pace up. The car's a lot lighter. Tires are looking solid. Michael well within draft range, but I got a slightly better exit. Now that draft really picking up. It's kind of crazy how impactful the draft is here. But if I can just run my race, try and stay out of my mirrors, and just put up the fastest laps I can, that is going to be what will potentially get me looking at that 9th place. Outside of a mistake from anyone ahead. But maintaining this 10th place is going to be important for my heart, so that I feel like I at least got a top 10 finish. But that might not be possible. I might not have it in me. We will see. The race will play out how it plays out, and I'm going to try and do the best I can. I am trying to shake off thinking about that Aaron incident. I really don't want to have been at fault there. But it's hard to tell from inside the car. Did I give an appropriate amount of room taking that inside line, or was I drifting outside before Aaron went off track? That would have forced Aaron's hand. Really going to need to rewatch that and understand how that played out, because just thinking about that is going to be throwing off my laps. But they should be coming up to the white flag. Christian making a mistake. The 11 car right ahead of us looking good. Okay, white flag. Okay, I clearly got to fix those LEDs. I thought that they looked a little off before. Okay, just put up my fastest lap. That's great. That's great. Ooh, and that is Michael running wide, but not losing too much time, really maintaining it there. Great job trying to keep that pace. That is not a great run for me, losing a little bit of pace, but Michael a lot closer, going to be in draft range. This is going to be exciting. Michael might have a run looking into Canada Corner, so that's what I'm most nervous about here. Not necessarily a dive here. That would be stupid. That would never work. I would just get punted. Like, at best case, I get punted and both of our races are over. I don't expect anyone to be that stupid. Certainly people are. Okay, what are we doing here? Do you want it going into the final main straight going into Canada? Like, that is... Being ahead here is not the position to be in. But I think Michael might be too close to get reasonable draft without me being able to tuck right back in behind. 2/10 is not a lot of time. So, I'm going to let Michael have it. Come on. Okay.
Keep to the left.
Not really gaining a lot of speed there, so put me in a shit position. I wanted to get the draft and come back around. So I'm going to try and force Michael to break really late here.
Still there, hold your line.
Try and
Clear
cut
on the
under.
right.
Not a great run out. I don't think it was in the right gear coming out of there, but that is not on Michael. It was a great pass otherwise. Let's see what we can do coming up into the main straight. I'm not going to have enough to get ahead. Michael got a great run out of there, so whew, that is a bummer. But look at that draft. If we were doing it at turn 1, would have been great, but otherwise, that's 11th place. That is a bummer. That could have gone a lot better.
All right, checkered flag.
I'm happy with
Okay.
how I raced, insofar as, man, I could sure do better, huh? So there's always the next race. I have plenty of practice laps to put in to try and learn and do better. But hey, survived, got 11th place. Really pumped about that. Yeah, let's take a quick look at the previous the lap that we were running along with. Here we go. So, looking at the red and green car here. So I'm backing out, letting them take it. Didn't get a great run out of here. Going up alongside. Oh, was that? I thought it was... Aaron wasn't a purple car. I just had that wrong. So Aaron went a little wide, had a tight run into turn 1, ran out, didn't grab any dirt, so that's great. Was slow just like they have been. I'm alongside. I brake early, so they've got all the room in the world. They locked up their front actually. So yeah, I think they had just a little bit too much front brake bias to get the car to rotate through there. And if you're still braking that far, you know, as you're applying the brakes and as you're turning the wheel, you lose either steering or braking. I mean, technically, you kind of lose both together. You're trying to balance that to get the car to rotate through. So that front wheel being locked there, not great. And then they just run wide. They try and get back on the gas and spin it. The car's a little unstable, and yeah, that race is over. So I'm glad. I mean, I was certainly a participant there. I put my car in a position that, like, hey, I am taking this corner. Didn't even run out as far as I could have. Certainly wasn't enough room for a car, but at that point, you know, I'm getting back on the gas because I know Aaron's gone off into the grass. They have not saved it. But even at this point, you know, making sure that I can run out and give them enough space to get back on the track, but I'm certainly getting the pass there. In which case I would have been defending from both Aaron and who is it that just got the pass? Michael Griffin behind. But this is how it played out, so I'm glad I didn't cause that, but that's an unfortunate event and just goes to show staying on the track, right? They could have been 11th, 10th, 12th out of that rather than wherever they ended up finishing due to that incident. At least 17th or 18th, it looks like. But anyway, thanks for sticking around. Catch you in the next one. Bye.